Hello, class. This is Priscilla Fiala. I'm your MSc 3370 professor. I've been trying to put a video together to talk a little bit about chapters 1 and 2 and some of the homework. I have not been successful yet, as I've been interrupted a few times. Um, first of all, I would like to say welcome to all. Um, to our veterans, to our active duty, thank you for your service. It's truly appreciated. Um, your textbook talks a lot about TI calculators. Please bear in mind that I am not requiring no anyone to buy a calculator. Actually, I don't even advise for you to use one, as with a calculator, you don't really follow the process. You just get a result. So if you get the result wrong and I tell you no, it's not right, then you wouldn't be able to necessarily fix it. So I rather you use a software like Excel where you can see the steps of what's going on. Actually, I haven't used a calculator in years and wouldn't even be able probably to guide you. I will have to go back and I don't even know where to find my calculator. Um, I asked you to read chapters 1 and 2 for week 1. Chapter 1 is talking about types of sampling. Chapter 2, and actually, chapter 1 is types of sampling and types of data. And chapter 2 is about describing the data. Okay, so in a graph, in graphs format or other types. Um, Sampling, you can read that. It's very interesting. I'm not going to be asking you so much, but the types of data, I'm definitely gonna go over it. I actually assigned some more homework for it where you gotta define whether it's quantitative or qualitative and whether it's discrete or continuous, which is quantitative. Think about a quantity, which is counting, and then qualitative. It's not something you count. For example, one of the homework asks if I ask you, so what is the most watched show on television? And you tell me which one is. That's not something you could count unless it was a different question. In statistics, it's essential that you pay attention to what is being asked at the moment. Because with quantitative discrete and quantitative continuous, discrete, those are whole numbers. One person, two people, three people, four refrigerators, um, five cars. You cannot say, oh, yeah, I have 5.3 cars. That does not sound reasonable. So that if I tell you something is 5.3, which is most likely a measure, that will be continuous. It's almost like the number continues. Okay, discrete is this is it. You have the number, period. So continuous would be measures. Let me open here. Here we go. Okay, if I have three people, that's discrete. But my height could be actually my height would be 1.78. Then see how the number continues. I know it sounds silly, but that's the best way to remember. Okay. Um, However, I was saying about thinking about the moment. For example, if I ask how old are you, you're not gonna tell me you are 3,253 days. You're gonna say, well, I don't know, 36 years old. Okay, that's discrete, 36. But okay, actually, let's do 36 times 3. Here you go. But if I say, how long have you lived? In days, then you can tell me uh, 13,140 days. Can you see the difference of the question that is being asked at the moment? Okay. Um, Another thing that on chapter 2, We're gonna talk about the mean, the mode, the median, and then the skewness of the data, and variance and standard deviations. Those are essential for everything we're gonna be doing in the course and later on in the other portion of statistics as well. Okay, I put a little example right here. Let's say that I have 5 students in my class and I have graded their homework. Okay, and then I ask you, what is the mean, the average of their homework grade? Well, if you're working with Excel, which I hope you are, let me make it a little bigger, then the easiest way really would be if you select the cells right here with your mouse and look down here, look what it tells. It tells the sum of all the cells. It tells you how many you selected, and it tells you the average. Okay, and the average is the sum divided by the count. However, if I ask you that, you're not gonna tell me to select the cells and look down here. That would not be reasonable. So that's why we're gonna go over how you actually find those values in Excel by using the formulas and make it easier on you. I have put this down here because, believe it or not, the most common error among students is not respecting these rules, the pandas rule that you should have or that you did learn but may perhaps have forgotten. Um, the pandas rule, which is the order that you should um, perform on an equation, which ones goes first, and so on. So, for example, if you look at an equation that says this times this, 2 plus 3 times 5, Excel does follow the pandas rule. So by this right here, which one comes first on my pandas list? Multiplication comes before addition. Therefore, my result right here should be 17. There we go. Okay, then let's use the same case, but now I want my sum, my addition to come first. Okay, so why did I put the parentheses? Because parentheses on this rule is the first thing that Excel, or even if you're doing on paper, you should do first. And then you go to multiplication, which is right here, number 3. So if I'm correct, and Excel does respect the panda rule, right here, my result should be 25 because 2 plus 3, see, I'm not looking at the addition, I'm really looking what is in the parentheses. So that's why I'm solving this first. So 2 plus 3 is 5 times 5 should be 25. Do you see how we have exactly the same equation? If you're going formulas, we have exactly the same equation, but just because I add the parentheses, it did change the values. Okay, so please keep that in mind. It's super important. Um, Back here, if I want to do the sum of values, I could go 85 plus 88 plus 72 plus 93 plus. Well, what happens is if I have a very, very long list and I change one of these values, I have to go back and look where they change. So what you could do, which is also not the easiest way, um, you can do column I, cell row 2 plus column I, row 3 plus column I, row 4 plus column I, row 5 plus column I plus row 6. There we go, which is, remember when I said right here, 427. Okay, but instead of doing that, why can't we just do that the sum of all the cells right here, because Excel has a formula for you, and then close. There we go. And I don't want to like give you all the trick, but we also had the auto sum. The problem about the auto sum is you have to make sure that it selects the right cell. See right here, it just made a choice for me, but I want to make sure is this my choice. Okay, which is the same as typing equals the sum in between parentheses and then the columns and rows. Every formula in Excel starts with an equal sign. Once you add an equal sign, Excel is already expecting a formula. Okay, the mean or the average. Excel also provides us a formula. Remember, the average that I should come up with is 85.4. If I round up or down, since it's below 5, we're going to go down, so it's 85. So let's see if that works. Excel has a formula that goes average, parentheses, and then we put the average this, which should be 85.4. Perfect. There we go. And then we can just go here and then make it 85. What does that mean? It means that even though Maria got a 72, which is a C, and Tomas got a 93, which is an A, my average actually is a B. So it's not bad. If my average was a C, I would be concerned. Then not my average, the average in my class, then I would know that I have to modify my way of delivering the material. Okay, the median. The median is the middle point, literally. So you would say, okay, it's Maria, it's 72. Now I need to know from all values, from every single value, which one is in the middle, which in this case is easier because, I mean, once you put in ascending order, you're gonna go, okay, you have two that goes up and two that goes down, and then there's your middle. However, remember, in ascending order, so we're gonna go here. We can go to data. See right here, you can go to sort, but we have a shortcut right here. Sort smallest to largest. When you click here, it's gonna tell you that. It's asking you that it's just gonna sort this, but then it's not gonna carry the student's name alone, and then it's gonna be messy because it's gonna assign uh, the grade to somebody else. Actually, just to make sure it came out correct, we're gonna copy this right here. Okay, and then we're gonna go sort, and then I'm gonna expand it, and then here you go. Look, Maria 72, Arturo 85, Paul 88, Olivia 89, and Thomas. Great. So you work. Can you see how Maria is not our middle value anymore? So she's not our median. So now my median value is Paul, which has been all along. How do you confirm this? Let's do a little formula. The median for my data is 88. Okay. Okay, then there's your mode. We can get rid of this because of we're not using it. Okay. Now there's the mode. The mode is the value that is presented most often. Well, we don't have a value here that presents itself most often. I mean, if I had another 93 here, that would be the most often. But just to confirm that, I should do mode, okay, and then select my data. And I should get an error that says it's not applicable for this data. There we go. There you go. So that's how you would do your median, your mode. Okay, if I would ever ask you. Um, Most important thing here, don't forget this rule. This will make all the difference in the world. For example, the average does this divided by 5. However, let's suppose that you did 72 plus 85 plus 88 plus 89 plus 93 divided by 5. What do you think Excel is going to do? Does the addition comes before the division? No. Excel is going to divide first 93 by 5 and then add. So this supposedly should be 85, but because I'm not respecting the pandas rule, I get a completely different value. However, if I would get the same information, put it right here, for example, actually adjust it for me, um, and I would just add a parenthesis, which would tell Excel, make sure you sum everything first, and then you divide it by 5. Remember? And then you take 1. There you go. Those are my values. And let's go now to problem 16 before I turn the computer off. I did put the formulas here, but I'll be glad to go over. Okay. So this pharmaceutical company um, is providing treatment. There's a treatment program for AIDS patients. They get 40 patients, and they're seeing what are the results and their survival length after they start this treatment. And we have two researchers here and the values they collected. Okay, so I'm gonna complete the first one for you, and then you're gonna complete the second one. So how do we do? First of all, none of this is in ascending order. It is important that you do that because of the categories that are being offered to you. They are in ascending order, and it's going to be much easier if you do put them in ascending order. Otherwise, you're going to be going, okay, 0.5, okay, no, and then 6 is too much work. Okay, so make sure you put those, and remember, you're just going data, and then there's the ascending order. And it's going to ask if you want to expand the selection. Don't expand. These are two different columns. I just put it side by side. And these are two different tables, okay? One for A and one for B. Okay, let's make it a little smaller. I hope it's not too small for you to see it, is it? Okay, let me just make it bigger and then I'll make it smaller again. Okay, how are we gonna do this? Survival length in months for A from 0.5 to 6.5. I don't like this category because, like I told you, usually zero point 0.5 we round up, but in this case we cannot round up because it's going to conflict. It's, actually, we could because then it would be 0. It would be 1 to 7 and then 7 to 13, but it might modify your data and it's really saying from 1 to 6.9999999 endless to and then 7. Okay, so let's go between 0.5 and 6.5 months. So we had one that lived for 3 months, one for 4 months. So there you go, we had two patients. And then 6.5 to 12, a little over a year. So we have 8 months, 8 months, 10, 10. Okay, so here we go. We have 5. Am I making sense? You change the colors to kind of help you a little bit. Okay, it doesn't matter. How many we have? 5, right? Look at right here. Helps you. And then we have from 13 to 18, well, 12.5 to 18.5, which are 9. Change the color. Not a good color. So we have 9. And then if you keep doing that, you're going to find, and then um, there, you're going to have 5. I don't know. Hold on a second. 18.5, which is here, to 20. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's correct. And then we should be like 7. Okay, okay, again, let me go back here. Try to find a different color. Excuse me, right here, 24.5 to 30.5 months, a little over 2 years, and then 2.5 years. So Here we go. So 25, 6, 26, 27, 27, 29, 29, they do fall into this category. So we have 7 counts. Okay. And then you're going to keep doing that. And then you have another 7. Let me go smaller here, right? Uh, so from 30.5 to 36.5, yes, correct. Just put red, and then we have 7. And then from 36 to 42, we have 2. And then the last category, it's gonna be 3. Okay, here I have put a formula to sum, which I could go here. Remember, auto sum. Make sure it selects all the cells I wanted. 40, which means it's correct because I have 40 patients according to the study. Okay, right here. You have 40 patients. Okay, that's your frequency that happens. The many times that happens into that category. Now for your relative frequency, excuse me, all you have to do is to divide the frequency by the total frequency by this. Instead of typing a number 40, I want to refer to this cell. Okay. However, when Excel, excuse me, when I drag it down, it's gonna update the cells. It's gonna go E4, and then it's gonna go F4, F5 is gonna update as it goes down. So to make sure that does not happen, I'm gonna select this cell for the total frequency, and I'm gonna make it an absolute value. An absolute value, when you see, which you do the F4 on your keyboard, an absolute value is going to show you the dollar signs in front of the column and the row number. That means I'm telling Excel, I want you to divide this frequency by this frequency by this. I don't want you update anything. I want you always refer to this as the denominator. Okay, so your numerator and your denominator. Your numerator, so you just change the numerator, not the denominator. So now you can just copy the formula down. And then you say, how did you do that? I just went over here. When it became a little black cross, I clicked twice and it copies the formula down. Okay, you should get 100%. If you auto sum and you have more than one, it's incorrect. There we go. Okay, you don't need that one though. And then now we're gonna do your cumulative frequency, which you're gonna do is like this. If I tell you your midterm is cumulative and involves it contains chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4, it's cumulative. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So this, it says your relative frequency is 5%. That's another mistake, common mistake that you'll be surprised. Here, if you had the 5 right next to the period, that would be 50%. But on your second digit right here is 5%. Actually, if you change the percent, you can see it. Right here would be 12.5%, 22.5%, and so forth, so on. So let me go back here. So to do the cumulative frequency, you're gonna do, there's nothing before the 5%. Then you're gonna do the 5% plus the 12.5%. And now you can just copy the formula down, which should adds up to 1. Okay, and then now you're gonna follow the same process to this table right here. I hope this video is helpful. I welcome questions. Please do not hesitate to contact me. I rather you contact me with any questions than don't. And if you need any feedback on your homework, make sure that you allow me enough time to reply to you. So make sure you email me your work before you upload it to Blackboard. Thank you.